Welcome back, everyone. Today we're going to be explaining how to use villagers to make an automatic potato and carrot farm. I have the potato one built here and the carrot one over there. So let me just give you a quick tour here. It's a little bit different in scale to the beetroot and wheat ones I made over there. There's 515, I believe, planting locations. And the reason that this is a different setup than those ones is because for potatoes and carrots, the seed is actually also the thing you eat, whereas those have seeds and another item like beetroots and beetroot seeds, wheat and seeds. But here you just get potatoes. You do get some poisonous potatoes, and this guy works fast. This is probably like 40 minutes of work at most to get all these potatoes. So what happens here, I'm going to explain basically first how he works and then how to build this. So he just goes around, and whenever he sees a plant that needs to be harvested, he will harvest it and then replant. This is due to the fact that there's no villages nearby that he wants to move to, so he's fine with just harvesting these plants. Now, sometimes what happens is that he gets enough potatoes that he doesn't feel the need to harvest anymore. That happens occasionally, but when he has too many potatoes to harvest, he still attempts to plant if there is an open spot available. So the key thing here is to leave one open spot available in the middle here. And when he tries to plant here, hopefully he does that soon, it automatically breaks. And that is because the light level here is too low. Now, unfortunately, we can't see that with F3 because we are at a slightly below a full block when it's on farmland. But the block light here is 7, and on all sides it is 8, which is key. I've got this clock here to force update the block, and I'll explain that in a bit when we actually build it. But hopefully this guy comes over here soon, and what happens is, oh, this one, he didn't replant, weird. That happens sometimes. He'll get to it eventually. But he'll get here and he'll try to plant, and it'll break instantly, and it'll get sucked below by, there's a minecart hopper under there, and brought over that way. And then he'll just keep trying to plant until he's run out of all of his potatoes. Actually, to speed this up, I'm just going to dump some on him. Pick those up, dude. Oh, perfect. So now he's going to go over here. I think he did this one. And so he just does this forever until he runs out of potatoes. And this updates the block. So let's explain how this works and what you need to do in order to make this work properly. So over here, I'm going to build it with carrots. Oh, let me get it out. And this is the setup I use. So first, let me explain how water works and how lighting it works, because it's very important to have that middle block be at a light level of 7. So over here, this is basically how water treats farmland. It can go 4 blocks away in either direction, and it includes diagonals. So these blocks you can't place farmland because they will not stay as farmland, but in the middle ones you can place seeds or carrots or whatever. Block lighting, if we go here, these brown dirt are where everywhere with a pumpkin like this that it is at least light level 8. So if we go here, we have a block light of 8. If we go here, it would be 7 if there was a block here. Lighting does not work in diagonals the same way this does. If this is 15, then this is 14, and this is 13, as well as this is 13. I use pumpkins because they're like lava. They give a light of 15 rather than 14 of a torch, which is kind of nice. But so all of these soil blocks are where the light is high enough from the single pumpkin over a piece of water to successfully grow crops. Now, I've also put stone here just to demonstrate where you could have crops based on the water, but the light levels doesn't work here. So basically what you can do is you can take these diamond shapes and you can stagger them, like one here, one more here, one here, and you can get a system where if you put these pumpkins above water, you get light level everywhere. And that's basically what we've done here. If I place a pumpkin above these water source blocks, pretty much all of these will be at the right light level, except for there's going to be some spots in the middle, but we need that to be at the lowest level possible. So I'll get to pumpkin placing in a moment. But like for instance, there's probably some blocks like right here, I think these two maybe, that could be soil based on the water. But maybe not those two, but there are some. But the light level wouldn't be high enough. So I've left it into this shape. We can fly above. And that's the shape that I've been using. This system is also, you can make it a smaller system because this produces too many items, to be honest. But yeah. So let's talk about picking up items. So what we have here is just a hopper underneath a piece of dirt. And if we drop something on it, nothing happens. However, If we till it, it gets low enough that it can actually pick up the block. You can see it went inside. Grab that back. Similarly, actually, or differently, I should say, this can pick it up whether or not it's tilled. It doesn't make any difference. So minecart hoppers are beneficial in that way, but the main thing that they can do is they can actually reside inside the block. We can do this, and they go through, and then they will go into the hopper below as well. Now this is useful for this system and actually is required because if a villager is, for instance, standing here and it breaks the item, the villager will pick it up before the hopper or the minecart hopper, or before the hopper. But when the minecart hopper is actually inside the block, then the hopper will pick it up before the villager can. The way you do this is you basically make a curved rail. You just have some block here, and you just put your hopper on it, and you just push it down, and it goes inside the block. And then I can break all of this, and now we have a minecart hopper inside of a block. You can't destroy that without destroying the block unless you shoot an arrow at it, basically. I bet a trident works too. So now we're going to end up going over here, and we've got this all laid out. This is on a 39 by 35 grid due to the fact that the soil takes up 29 blocks this way and 33 blocks this way. So what we're going to do here is we're going to grab some jack-o'-lanterns. Actually, I already have some in my inventory. And what we're going to do is we're going to place them 2 blocks above the water. And I'm going to do a time set day, just so that's a little bit lighter. And so I'm going to place all these pumpkins, and I'm going to till all the soil, and we'll see where we are from there in a second. All right, we got all that done. And one thing to quickly note, I'm building the system to work both inside and outside. And you have to pay attention to sunlighting. So outside, you don't actually need any of these pumpkins because sunlighting will make the block light, or not the block light, it's officially, I believe, sunlight. If you look on the screen, I think I can see it. It's, where is it? I just lost it. But there's a block light and a sunlight. It's right there under light. The block light's 15, as you can see. And even when it's nighttime and that block light is lower, you can still plant a random crop anywhere because the sunlight makes it high enough light level to plant crops on any soil. But I'm also going to place these pumpkins here so that if you decided to build this underground, it would still work. So here, as you can see, let's quickly get the random tick speed to be really fast so it builds up. We have this patch in the middle here that doesn't actually, isn't close enough to water, I should say, to hydrate the farmland. So we can place 2 more water sources, and we can do these in convenient locations. So we need to be able to be 4 blocks from this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, we can place in this row. If we're here, we can also do 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll cross all of these. And if I put it here, then I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, and get all the way to this edge. So basically, we want to put the water right there, and that allows me to hydrate all of those. Let me go back to 1,000. And it can also hydrate all of these, which is ideal. Now, it also goes somewhat the other direction. It'll be able to hydrate up to these 2, but it won't be able to get all the way. So what we're going to do is the same thing basically on this side, offset from the middle. And that way, everything is now hydrated. All right, perfect. So as we can see here, I've got this diamond shape that goes one beyond each of the pumpkins. And if I just break through real quick, we can see that the sunlight is 15, the block light's 7, but if I close it, the sunlight is now 7 as well, which means I will not actually be able to plant carrots here. I can plant them all around, but I can't plant them there. Now, the key thing about the system is a villager can plant here, and if you update the block, it will immediately break. Similarly to how if I do this and go one more out, this should break. I might need to go this direction as well. But if I get the light level low enough here, oh, we need to break the pumpkin. There's too many light sources. But if this were a low enough light level, this would break as well. But that is not an issue that we need to worry about because we only want the single center block to break. So now the way we are going to do that is we're going to put an observer clock, basically. And this is how you make it update virtually immediately. So we need observers and we need redstone. Perfect. So this is the centerpiece, and I'm going to do it right down here. So we can dig out some of this section, and I can place one. I need to go one lower. So I want to place this facing up. So if I get a torch, just so we can see, we've got the redstone side facing down, and I'm going to need to break my way up, and we're going to place one on top of it facing up, and they basically continually update each other because this one updates and then that makes this one update, which makes this one update, etc. And we can place just a piece of dust on top of it. I like this particular design because it's both super compact and it doesn't make noise, unlike redstone clocks with torches. So now we've got that, and if I manage to place anything there, oh, did I break a hole somewhere? Why can't I place it there? Did I put this in the wrong spot? Interesting. Hold up. Let me figure this out. Of course, it's this torch. I didn't even think about it. Yeah, can't have torches like that, so I'm going to just fill this in. We're going to end up putting stuff back down here. But for now, we're just going to fill that in. And if I grab my hoe, I should once again not be able to plant right there. But I can plant everywhere around it, but just not right there. And if you did plant, this would immediately make it break. Now the key thing is we need to have a hopper minecart in this block. So we need one of those. We'll need some of these as well, and we'll want some rails. And I'm going to also use it to detect these power rails so that it's like locked in position and it can't really move. Actually, no, we don't want that. That was a test I made earlier. So what we want to do is we want to place it in this block right here. So we're going to put the rail here, and then I'm going to make this regular dirt and put another rail here. And we can slide this down, and perfect. Now the problem is first we need to put a hopper below this because we want it to suck out into the hopper immediately. So we place this down, perfect, it's now inside of our block, and I can now place farmland there. We dig back down, there's our hopper, and what we want to do is we want to build hoppers all the way to the edge so we can get the items out. Like this, and if we keep going, we will eventually get to the end. Let's do that real quick. Perfect. Okay, so now that we have this, we actually will notice something interesting is that light passes through hoppers, so having that there makes it lighter in here than if there weren't water above it, which is interesting. But I'm going to bring this all the way out, and I'm going to place a chest right here. So let's get one of those. Oh, I have a ton. Perfect. And with this system, the items that the villager attempts to plant there will just immediately get brought down. And that's basically how it works. I'm going to fill in that hole there. But what happens is, if I put this here, the villager will go around and he will plant carrots everywhere he can. And when he tries to plant them here, they all get sent out. I would recommend planting all of these manually yourself, then stick a villager in here. You don't even have to give him anything. As long as he has an empty inventory, he'll break the ones that are available to be broken and try to plant them here. And it'll work great. So I'm going to plant these and get a villager set up. But that's basically it. You don't really need to watch this unless you find it interesting. But that's how this works. You need to have this clock here in the middle, and you need to have the center block actually have a hopper in this block. And then the system works great. As I'm planning this, one thing I just forgot to do in the other design was put stairs inside the water, so we get the waterlogged blocks, which still act to grow the crops properly. It didn't seem to be a problem, though, as the villager, I guess, is smart enough, possibly, to not walk into the water, because that guy, I don't believe he's fallen in yet. He hasn't trampled anything, that's for sure. Yeah, but I'm going to add those in, just so that it's easier. Even if he does walk over it, nothing happens. Ah, there we go. Perfect. You're just what we need. Brown robe. Yeah, so if we quickly do a game rule, random tick speed of 1,000, and then just bring it back to 3 once a few of the plants have grown. I see some. Perfect. He should very quickly here decide to break some of these crops because he does not have enough carrots in his inventory to not want to break carrots. Eventually, he'll get enough carrots in his inventory that he doesn't feel the need to break the crops anymore, but he will plant them here, and as a result, he'll run out of carrots again and be able to start breaking carrots. So hopefully this guy decides to move momentarily here. Let me plug up my hole. Yeah, basically all you need to finish this is just have a wall so he can't get out, zombies can't get in, and then you're good to go. You got your line of hoppers underneath. In the potato system over there, the poison potatoes he doesn't actually pick in his inventory up. They'll just lie on the ground and despawn. Some of them will land on this row of hoppers and they'll get sucked in and sent to the end. And if you really wanted to get all of those, you'd probably have to line the entire bottom of these with hoppers, because as I showed earlier, items on top of hoppers inside of this farmland will go through just like this piece of glass will. And the glass should end up in here. Perfect. Yeah, so this guy is going to break for a while, and let me give him a few stacks so that he decides he has enough. If we do that, he's going to be like, oh, look, I got enough carrots. Don't need to break anymore. I'm going to plant them here. And then he just does that, and he'll do that until he runs out, and then he'll go get more carrots. So let's just check, make sure they're showing up as intended, and we are getting carrots. Yeah, so then, of course, oh, probably move this from the top. This was just when I was trying to figure out why the lighting was wrong a moment ago. Oh, I just broke it. There we go. But you probably want to do something pretty with it like I have here. I made little sections in the corners, got a bunch of lighting. The only really key part here is you need to have these 4 pumpkins and the top here so that the lighting is correct in the middle. Oh, didn't want to do that. He'll plant it. It'll be fine. And then you need to have this system with the observer clock and the minecart hopper in here. The rest, of course, you can expand as you want, just making sure the level is high enough for light. Oh, he already planted it. Good job, boy. But the rest out here is just expansion. You can expand it out as far as you want. And then out here is where I just put the cool designs, like I put my little lava section and stuff. Yeah, so leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed. This should work for sure in Minecraft 1.13. I believe it works in Minecraft 1.12, even though the solutions people used back then don't work now. And the reason you don't need to do such complicated stuff with my other farms is because the problem here is if you don't have a way of this system in the middle, the way of him losing his items, he'll get too many carrots and he'll be like, I don't need to harvest any more carrots because I have enough. But with, for instance, wheat, he will feel the need to harvest wheat even when he's full inventory on seeds because he doesn't have enough wheat. But with carrots and potatoes, it doesn't work that way, so you have to do this system here. All right, well, hopefully that made sense to you guys, and the whole hopper inside of the block works for you guys as well. And let me know if you have any other suggestions on what I should build here. See ya.